All right, I've got Ernest McIntosh Jr. of A.L. McIntosh and Son Oyster Company, and he's going to talk about growing the industry and a project that they're doing in Georgia. So, you want to be down there?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Oyster South, love it. So, Georgia, we've been behind for a few years, So, as we've been growing, we've been in the past 7 years. So, it wasn't easy as a lot of states, growing this industry and being the only company in it. We actually started with 7 companies. It was kind of hard with the bottom cage, and a lot of people know how that works. If you're not consistent, you don't make money. So, on the rise with the company, me and my dad, which is not here, he had to work. So, it's a lot of tears and blood shedded between growing this beautiful product. Everybody feels that it just happens overnight, and it doesn't. So, can we slide? New beginning. Oh man, that beginning wasn't kind of new when you go from oyster harvesting to oyster farming. So my grandfather and all that kind of led the way, in the fishery. And it was approved by the state that we can start farming, and 8 of us were involved in it. So we were the only company still standing. So that's just how hard it was for us to still represent Georgia, give us some light that, hey, we have oysters here. So can I get the mission, you can't grow it if you don't introduce it to the younger generation. So me being a third generation, and that it's a couple of families that passed along where father gives their business to the son. So this project is about giving the kids that families that's not fishermen a little bit of insight to something that they may have right in their backyard, and not when they get to college or feeling that they can make big money in it and never know that it's right there before they leave home. And that's what we have going with my high school that I graduated from. So, hey, we could go to the next slide. Here we are. That's one of my students and me and my dad. And she's a little bumblebee. She loves it, and I'm happy that we do have her with us, because I've been out of school probably 20 years or so almost, and it's a little sad that, we don't have as many companies thinking about the future for our own kids, grandkids, right in the same neighborhood. So that's kind of how we got this goal, to at least give them some insight that you don't have to go far to own your own oyster business or oyster farm. About us, well, I'm really a little heart-taken that it took us this far, along with Tom Blitz and UGA. I have to give that. I should have said that first. Because we've been their lab rat for a long time. And we learn a lot of stuff, from each other. And not only just Tom, Rob, and Justin, the whole crew there at UGA, we love those guys. It became a brotherhood being in the oyster industry with them guys. And that's family now to us. Well, when I look through the years that a lot of you other states, y'all stick together. You know, this oyster industry, we can't make it just on one head. We have to find out what's the next state's doing, how they're doing it, and how can we make this better. So Georgia was so behind in so many things until we were on a catch-up rise, and I don't think we're the last state. But we're there, we're moving. So I don't have too much more to say about Georgia because not only that we're still growing, y'all just make sure that you know that we're here and that we will, you know, be here for any other company that needs help or any kind of advice or what's going on. And you don't know how things going until we have symposiums like this, you know, symposiums, landlocks, and where we get to sit around and talk and figure out who's doing what and how we're doing it. Thanks, guys.
Before you go away, any questions for Ernest? Just a sec. Oh, you know what? You'll need this.
What kind of gear do you guys run in Georgia, and what is your typical method of harvest to bring your oyster to market?
Well, we kind of study the shell a lot, man. You know, we're bottom. We're still on the bottom. We look for color. Color means a lot in our area. And too bright of an oyster, meaning that it ain't getting its right nutrients. So we kind of, if one of those slides you can see where it's a real dark purple color, well, it grows real good in that area. And we don't have much fouling. We don't have much spat. There it is. So that's kind of like an oyster that's been hidden for a long time in our area. And we don't have to pull it up much, and you don't have to do much maintenance.
Any other questions? Any other questions for Ernest? All right. Thank you again, Ernest.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Bill.
it.